All right, starting recording in 3, 2. I'm recording. We're live. All right, we're back at you with the Austin show. Coming to you live from the Sunday night game right now. So we're going to react to the games. That's the plan, right?
Yeah, that's the plan. Right now, Atlanta is up 17-6, and we just found out that the Eagles are playing like nobody, and they've got Wentz out for some reason, and then they got everybody out on injuries and potential injuries and concussion protocols and stuff.
Yeah, literally half their offense is out. They have, you folks at home probably saw the same graphic we saw. Alshon Jeffrey's out. Nelson Aguilar's in concussion protocol. The running backs
Jackson, something.
Sean Jackson's out or questionable to return. So basically, the Eagles just lost their entire offense. And we both picked the Eagles to win this week, right? You picked the Eagles?
Yeah.
I did too. Picks didn't do so well. My picks weren't hot this week, but the Colts beat the Titans, so happy about that. Let's see here. What was some of the first games? We'll start with Mahomes. Incredible day for Mahomes. It was unbelievable. I didn't watch the game live. I just watched the highlights. And that's why the Chiefs are so scary, because if you can score 28 points in a half, or not even half, in one quarter, you're down by 10, all of a sudden you score 4 times. It's unreal.
So I had the score pinned live on my phone, and I was looking at it, and it's like 0-10, and I was like, "Oh, what's going on?" Next thing I notice is 28-10. I'm like, "All right." I'm like, that's
yeah. And dude, just watching Mahomes throw is just so entertaining, because he throws the perfect spiral, and it's like every pass is accurate. It's unreal.
It's does it like nothing too. That's the thing. He's like,
he just like flings it down the field, and it's like perfect on the target throw. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see how the Chiefs can, see if they can finally dethrone the Patriots, because we were talking about this before the pod. It's like it's a 2-man race in the AFC between the Chiefs and the Patriots, and it's really not even close. But yeah, it's obviously the Chiefs' division to lose with the Raiders. I mean, it was interesting because the Raiders up 10-0 at home, and they just beat the Broncos. It's like, oh man, maybe the Raiders have this miraculous season, and then Patrick Mahomes started to play, and that was that.
That's the thing. They were like, oh yeah, Raiders will do good, but then they forgot who their opposing QB was.
Exactly. Once Mahomes was like, I'll start playing, then it was over. So, yeah, that's pretty much, I mean, Mahomes, probably the best quarterback talent I've ever seen. It's definitely up there. I've just never seen a guy be able to throw downfield like he can. So, yeah, that game was interesting to watch. Another early game, my Colts took down the Titans. It's a great game. This is the only game I watched today besides this Sunday night game.
Dang, he knocking cheerleaders down.
Yeah, Devontae Freeman just like took out a cheerleader, and she's checking him out too. Did you see that? Yeah. She's like, ooh, Devontae Freeman. It's like, nah, bro. But yeah, Colts took down the Titans. Pretty satisfying, because Titans thought they were on the way to a Super Bowl run after beating the Browns week 1.
Yeah, that's why you can never trust week 1 at all and what that's going to do to the next few games. Because, I mean, dude, like, they shutting out the Browns like that and then come in and then, like, they should have won the Colts game. Like, it almost should have been a breeze, but then...
Stop.
Listen.
Stop being disrespectful. No. The Colts have a good roster. You act like we're the Dolphins.
No, I'm not saying you're like the Dolphins, but it should have been like a breeze, like 28-10 type of breeze.
We don't have that better team.
About no 43-0.
Listen,
23-13.
I'm gonna stop you right there. The Colts don't have that bad of a roster. We do match up well against the Titans, and all I heard about how Brissett was so bad and the Titans defense is so talented. Yeah, he just put up 3 touchdowns on the Titans. So,
but that's what I'm saying. I'm pulling like a Stephen A. Smith and that other guy, Max Kellerman. That's what I'm saying. I'm agreeing with you. But by the way, the Titans played the last week.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what your point is because you're like people overreact to week 1, thinking that transfers to week 2, but doesn't always work like that
because it's the
obviously.
Titans. Like I never thought I would see them score 40-something points.
No.
Like especially sprint. But I mean, that's what I'm saying though. Like you can never know.
I get your point now.
And that's kind of what's.
Plus, they were at home. It's like, yeah, they. I mean, they were definitely favored in the game. They probably should have won the game, especially after how dominant they looked in week 1. Wow, that he airmailed that. Matt Ryan just threw probably one of the worst picks I've ever seen. He was under pressure, to be fair.
How many picks are in this game right now? And potential picks that were.
It's been sloppy play, quarterback play. Carson Wentz hasn't played well, and Matt Ryan's looked pretty good. But he has thrown some turnover-worthy plays, as PFF likes to put it. But back to the early games. So the Colts ended up pulling out a tight one against the Titans. So I think the biggest storyline from that game, though, is Adam Vinatieri, dude. As you guys know, as if you haven't figured out already from the pod already, I'm a big Colts fan, not a Titans fan. Big Colts fan. And I think it's ready for Adam Vinatieri to hang up them cleats because he's missed in the last 2 weeks. He's missed 3 extra points and 2 field goals. And he's left like 9 points on the table, and he literally cost us the Chargers game. Now, I wouldn't say necessarily I hate when people say that because you can't blame losses on the kickers. Like the defense should have had to stop an OT last week. They didn't. But Adam Vinatieri is not looking good. It's time to retire.
So yeah, again, like it's week 2. But
That's a good point. It's a good point. And some people made that point. It's like, give them some time. Like, kickers are kind of like batters in baseball. Like, you can have a bad couple weeks for a kicker. But to be honest, though, the kind of kicks he's missed and the kind of situations he missed them in the last 2 weeks have been costly. Like, costly to the win. Especially last week when he missed that field goal in fourth quarter where it was like less than a 30-yard field goal. But yeah, it's I don't know if you saw this, but he said he has an announcement to make on Monday. So
really,
yeah,
wow.
So
Tom, or just on Monday.
Whenever the local media talks to the players.
Yeah, I'll probably wake up and then see something. Dang.
Yep. So he's had an amazing career, though. He has no shame in what he's done, because obviously he's the greatest kicker of all time. So, but it's going to be interesting to see the AFC South and how it plays out because moving on to another game, the Texans versus the Jags. Dude, bro, have you seen that stuff with Gardner Minshew? He does stretches in the locker room with just a jockstrap on before the game. Dude, this guy, he's like my favorite player in the NFL. Like that. First of all, how does that shit get out? Like, who told her? Like, who told the people that? Must have been the trainer or something.
It's gotta be
because players ain't saying that shit. Because then you admit checking out Gardner Minshew in the locker room, dude stretches with a damn jockstrap on. Yeah. But the AFC South's going to be interesting because the Texans' offensive line still seems like a huge problem.
See, that's the thing though. But like week 1, it was better than last year. Like it seemed like it was.
He got sacked 6 times.
But like,
I see what you mean now.
But it looked better. But then, again, it's week 1. But I think the way that they're kind of handling the situation, they know they to have Deshaun Watson to get help, and they've done it, they've tried to do it.
Yeah, they've definitely worked on it.
I think they're still going to build around that, though. I think they need to because teams like this want to go all out on their quarterback. And
exactly.
He was good week 1, and I think if they do get the line, they can be better. But dude, that game I was kind of surprised, especially the way they played last week.
Yeah, they definitely looked more stagnant on offense, obviously. I actually haven't seen a whole lot of the highlights for the game, but it was definitely surprising. I mean, Jacksonville had a chance to win it in the end. I love the play call, by the way, going for 2 to win the game. I just think in Jacksonville, in that position, you have a backup quarterback who does stretches in the locker room with a jockstrap on. Like, go out there and try to get a win before OT. I like that. I like the play call. Didn't love the actual. Ooh,
Hey,
love
dude.
that play call. That's why I love Doug Peterson, man.
Perfect.
He goes for it on 4th and goal because he's like, listen, we can't just keep taking field goals and win the game. We got to go out and we got to score a touchdown. We have to score on this drive, and
they're back in the game.
Exactly. It's like a field goal. What does a field goal do for you in that situation? I mean, like, why would you take a field goal in there? So, you guys seeing this probably Monday morning. If anybody decides to watch, we'll know what we're talking about. But what an awesome, like, that's why I love Doug Peterson, man. It's just he's such a ballsy coach, and it paid off, man. It paid off.
2 points. I like this. I hope they get that.
It's gonna be Philly special. But yeah, going back to Jacksonville, it's definitely gonna be an interesting.
Oh,
did he get it though?
I don't know. He tripped up. Okay.
I mean,
they'll review it, but it seemed like he tripped up just a little bit. But I think he tripped. If he didn't trip, he would have gotten it. I think.
Did he get it?
No.
Nope, he didn't. Not even close. I'm surprised they called that on the field a good completion.
Yeah,
good.
The ref on that side.
Yeah, exactly. Can't having some technical difficulties with the camera. I know we've been promising better equipment for like the last, decade on this podcast, but it'll happen one day.
That reminds me. I think you'll be all right with this, with a giveaway.
Oh, we doing a giveaway?
Yeah. Of like, we've got like non-subscribers. We could do like a 10 subscriber giveaway, even though it's like you, me, and friends, or we can do like a 25 subscriber giveaway for a $25 gift card or something like that.
I like that. We'll do a 25 subscriber giveaway for a $25 gift card of the winner's choosing. How about that? I like that idea. So yeah, moving on to the games. The Texans Jaguars, not super exciting game. What was another early game? I don't have the games in front of me right now.
There's Ravens and
we'll go over that now. What'd you think of Lamar Jackson?
Dude, he's doing good. I hope he keeps doing good. But I can see people saying that he's overrated and stuff. But still, like, I think he's doing good where he's at. They can keep going. They're definitely going to be top of their division for sure.
It's looking like it, but I just want the viewers at home to know something. I'm gonna expose Austin a little bit here. Before we got on the podcast, this is Austin's quote. He says, "I hope next week Lamar Jackson throws 3 picks."
Dude,
did you or did you not say that?
I did say that, and it's kind of true. I mean, he's doing good, but I mean, I really want to throw 3 picks just because the fans and stuff.
Yeah.
And, I just want the Browns to be above them, but
I do too. Yeah, we love the Browns, but
I mean, again, we can go back to the thing where it's only week 2, but he's had amazing performances week 1 and week 2 though.
But pretty favorable schedule.
Yeah.
Basically 2 college teams, Dolphins and Cardinals. So,
dude, Kyler Murray though, he's doing good. That's another thing. He's doing good.
He's had his moments.
He's looking good for a rookie. Okay.
Especially for the team around him.
Yes. And I think if he stays there, if the Cardinals will actually build a team around him and get him the help he needs, then they can be good. That's what they need to do because he's shown in these first 2 games that he's good. He can make some plays, but he's also still a rookie, and that's my thing. So I mean, they just need to build on that. I think this season is just kind of seeing where they at season,
Mm-hmm.
and then see what they can do in the off season and the draft, and they need players.
Yeah, and I think, like I said, he's had his moments. He's looked like, I don't think we did a podcast after week one. We're gonna try to be getting more consistent with the podcast. Um, he looked pretty bad in part of week one, but second half of week one he looked good. And
Yeah.
um, like I said, the team around him is just pathetic. He has no time to throw whatsoever. And the receiver talent isn't like great there. To be honest, it's not the best. So once he gets talent around him, he could definitely
Oh,
fumble. Eagles ball, no, they recovered. Um, it's going to be interesting though. You're right. He has not looked bad for his first two games with the talent around him. I will say though, watching the Lions game week one, he looked very tiny on the field. Like the size, I feel like they were lying about his height because they say Russell Wilson's basically the same height. Russell Wilson just looks bigger than Kyler Murray. He just does. Like he looks bulkier, he looks taller. So maybe not the size will matter, but it was interesting because the Lions had like 5 deflected passes at the line, and that's one of the biggest things for small quarterbacks is deflected passes at the line. So it's interesting. We'll see how it does going forward. But that was a good game, better game than people expected. I think the Cardinals had a chance to win. At some point, they were kind of in the game the whole time, even though Lamar played great. He had what was the stat you gave me earlier? Like only
he had 250 passing yards and 125 or 150 running yards. I think that's what it was for first time in NFL history. Players done that in a game.
yeah, that was impressive. And I'll be honest, my Lamar Jackson takes were pretty critical. I mean, I didn't
Yeah.
think he could throw. And through 1 week, he looks good, man. Or 2 weeks, he looks good. So we'll have to see. He has a favorable schedule though. That game next week's going to be good. The Chiefs and
Who they
Ravens.
play? Oh yeah.
Chiefs. And but that's another favorable matchup, man. Their secondary's terrible. So
I want to know how like if it'll be a high scoring game, like both teams in the 30s plus on that one.
be interesting. Ravens have pretty good defense, but not what it used to be. So I think, and like it's really their first real NFL opponent if you think about it.
Yeah.
It's like kind of week one for the Ravens next week. I mean, let's be honest, guys. Would you take Bama over Dolphins?
Dude. Yeah, we want to see that in the comments, dude. I
Well,
think a
what do y'all
lot
think?
of I would.
Predict the score to Dolphins versus Alabama. Because Dolphins aren't an NFL team. They got outscored like 108-10 in their first 2 weeks. That's not
Yeah, I seen
good.
that. It's ridiculous.
It's not particularly good. It's not really what you're looking for. It is what you're looking for if you're looking to tank, though. But man, I mean, these guys have
You
families to
can't
feed.
even get into field goal range to get 3 points.
It's funny because yesterday I was at a watch party basically for the college games, and we were talking about it's like why does Chattanooga just not take their field goal for pride? Just take your field goal for pride. Tennessee actually got a win yesterday. You can roast us down in the comments for being Tennessee fans, but take your field goal for pride. They were in field goal range multiple times. Wow, I thought he caught that again in double coverage.
Yeah.
But another score like ran across the screen. It was like Lamar. It was funny, Lamar Jackson, but it was just Lamar School versus Texas A&M. Scores like 55-3. It's like 3 points for
There you
pride.
go.
Take your 3
That team's
points.
better than Dolphins right there.
It's smart, man. It's just like just take your 3 points for pride. I know it hurts because you lost by 50 points, but you didn't get shut out.
Just put your kicker in the game. Like, why not? Give him some playing time.
You didn't get shut out. Yeah, I think Chattanooga didn't kick. Wow, he might be gone. Wow, Ito Smith looking good. Chattanooga legitimately might not have taken a field goal though because their kicker can't kick. Their quarterback definitely couldn't play. But that's a whole nother story. Y'all aren't coming to the pod to listen to Tennessee versus Chattanooga talk. So, what
what's
else is?
next?
Who else played?
There's Seahawks Steelers.
Great game.
We haven't talked about that.
It was a
What
close
happened
game.
to Ben?
He got hurt.
What was it?
I don't know. I have to look it up. Should have been more
Because I
prepared.
didn't see where he got hurt, but
Yeah, he was out. That was a great game.
I seen that. I was like, oh, it's probably gonna go Seahawks now.
Yeah,
Which I picked the Steelers just because it was at
big
Pittsburgh.
Seahawks.
So
I guess we could tell y'all our picks. What have we gone over so far? We both took the Chiefs. We both took the Titans. We're
took
wrong
the
on
Ravens.
both took the
Took
Ravens.
the Chiefs.
Yeah, and what else have we gone over so far? We both took the Texans.
Yeah, both took
Texans. And I
that
took
it?
the Seahawks, and Austin took the Steelers.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was another good game. It's going to be interesting. I actually predicted Pittsburgh to make the wild card this year. That's not looking like a good prediction. I'm not going to lie. That's not looking like the best prediction. So,
Clowney said one of the reasons he
another pick, y'all.
Zone.
Another pick.
Oh dang, that was nice. There's so many picks this game, which I'm surprised.
Five. Well,
surprised.
these are some great quarterbacks, right?
Exactly. They're supposed to be. Maybe these should have been in the voting for most picks in the season. But Clowney, he said that one of the reasons he went to the Seahawks is because of Russell Wilson, and I forget his exact quote, but it's basically because he can win games, and that's what I like about the Seahawks because they're not talked about a lot as much as these other teams, but they're always in it. Like they always end up sneaking up and.
Because Russell Wilson.
That's the number one thing. Yeah, Russell Wilson, he knows what to do when it counts.
Oh, interesting.
Bring it back?
No, it's still a pick.
Okay.
But yeah, Seahawks are all. I actually picked the Seahawks to go to the NFC Championship. Funny enough, against the Eagles. See how that. And we were talking about this earlier. The NFC is just so stacked with so many good teams. So can't deny the Cowboys. Is that what we should talk about next? The Cowboys.
Ooh, yes, let's talk about the Cowboys. All right. So I want to say that last week I bet on them to win. Won that this week. Bet on them again. The spread was 5 points. And then I took that, and then it just kept going up. And what they win by like 10? It was like 31-21, I think.
Yeah.
So I ended up winning that one. They're looking good. And I told you earlier. I said Zeke, dude, he looks like a monster and a beast. And you said they got talent. They picked up Randall Cobb from the Packers in offseason.
Michael Gallup.
Amari Cooper. Yep.
Michael Gallup and Zeke.
Yep, Zeke. Dak Prescott looking good.
Jason Witten. 80-year-old Jason Witten.
From retirement.
Ball
but
for
that's
life.
The thing. Dak and Zeke both look good. Zeke's a monster just because he's big and he can push through. But Dak's impressing me these first 2 weeks that he can actually be a quarterback. He's got some accurate throws. And like last year and stuff, I was just like, he's all right. But then, like he was getting better and stuff. And then this year, it's good. Like they got a solid team though. Like it's good. I like them. Powerful team.
Yeah, and you can't deny the Cowboys. You really can't. Now they are the Cowboys though, guys. I've grown up, born in '97. They've always choked in big moments. So I don't expect anything less for them. Probably
wasn't that a lot of Tony Romo though?
Yes, but it's also just the Cowboys. It was a lot of Tony Romo, I'll give you that. But just imagine this. I don't know when they play the Eagles. I imagine it's like week 16 or 17. I have to look at the schedule. I guarantee it's going to be like the Cowboys have 10 wins, the Eagles have 10 wins. This is for the division, and that's when the Cowboys shit the bed. I mean, that's just what they do. It's just what they do. And they have had favorable matchups week 1 and 2, so it's going to be interesting to see. But you can't deny them, man. They have talent everywhere. They have a great offensive talent, great offensive line, great receiver core, good quarterback, great running back. I mean, and then defensively, they have the best young linebackers in the league, great secondary.
That's how you build a team and run a
Yeah.
team, dude.
They've definitely had some good draft picks recently.
They play the
Great draft
Dolphins
picks actually.
next week, right?
In the comment, yes,
Yeah,
Dolphins.
I want to know that score.
I
I
want
want to know that score.
predictions to the Cowboys versus the Dolphins. I'm guessing they're gonna implement a mercy rule in the NFL next
I'm
week.
say probably like 42-0, 42.
I mean,
something like that.
what do you think these Dolphins players do? Like they come home and like their wives are supposed to be proud of them, but they're like, we watched the game. Like you can't sleep here tonight. Like
Just
leave.
imagine like going into that locker room before a game, everybody's
Yeah,
like, "What's the man?" or whatever. They're like, I bet you they all just moping around, whatever.
Let me
whatever,
ask you this: who's giving those pregame speeches? Like, let's go lose the Patriots by 40. Let's go. It's like, what is Josh Rosen giving the pregame speeches? Who's giving pregame speeches? If you guys have insider info, let me know. Because, like, seriously, you're getting hyped up if you're Dolphins. Like, maybe we call Tua and he'll give us a pregame speech. It's not even in the league yet, and they're already like, we'll just ask Tua to give us pregame speeches. Yeah, I'm guessing. Me and Austin were talking about this. The line's probably going to be over 20. But I don't even think it's because the Cowboys are that good. They just saw the Dolphins week 2.
Yeah.
Vegas saw the Dolphins week 2 and were like, no, we're not doing this again.
I think that's
it. Yeah, and it's probably going to be in the 20s, which I saw something. You'll take interest in this, Austin. Austin's a big gambler, especially with sports betting. The highest line in NFL history, 22 points.
Really?
22 points.
Wow. I
heard that.
We'll see that change.
Don't fact check me in the comments. I heard it on a PFF video. Don't fact check me because I didn't fact check myself.
At him.
Don't at me. Anyways, do we have to talk about the Bills and Giants?
No, we can skip over
We'll
that
skip that one.
Yeah. Saquon Barkley's good. Pass over. All right, next game.
And that's really it. Dolphins, Patriots. It was a good game when they kicked it off. After that, it wasn't very good. Nothing really to talk about. Like, just let us know in the comments. You taking Bama or you taking the Dolphins? Give us your score predictions. What else was the early game?
There was so I think wasn't that it for the early games, and then it started, and then it was like the 4:00 games.
I think so.
Or was there more?
I think. I'll think about it.
If there were, it don't even matter. We just skip it in the podcast because it's not even worth it.
It's not worth it. I feel like we're missing something.
Packers, Vikings.
That was an early game.
About that.
That's his favorite damn team. He doesn't even remember the game.
I forgot.
Unbelievable.
That was a 1:00 game. A lot of people voted the Vikings, which I was kind of shocked.
Me and him picked Packers.
Yeah.
I picked the Dolphins to win. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't pick the Dolphins to win. We actually have a little bet going on between me and Austin. Whoever has the most picks right at the end of the year gets $20. And I think we were tied week 1, both 12-4, which is pretty good.
I gotta check this one because last time I checked was early. I was like 8-7, I think.
Another game we forgot about, and you guys won't believe me because I picked the Chargers to win, but I told my buddy that I thought the Chargers could lose this game just because it felt like the kind of game the Chargers would lose, and it turns out they did. Should have went with my conviction and went with the Chargers. And we both picked Chargers, so we both got that one wrong. Ooh, did you accept that? And as far as the Packers, Vikings, we both picked the Packers because.
Did they blow him dead? Like,
I don't know. I guess they did.
He was just wrapped up. That was dumb.
Yeah, I don't like when they do that. But yeah, I mean, when it comes down to it, you gotta take the better quarterback in matchups like that. I'm taking Aaron Rodgers. So. Even though Dalvin Cook looks like a first ballot Hall of Famer with how he's playing. Vikings running back, dude, he looks amazing.
Yeah, dude, he is good, man. I like him.
He's very good. Yeah, it's like, yeah, he's super good. So, That was an interesting game. Now I think that literally covered all the 1 o'clock games.
Yeah. Now 4 o'clock games. Um, besides the Rams and Saints, who was the other people that played at 4 o'clock? 49ers and Bengals. Were they 1 o'clock?
Yeah, for another 1 o'clock game.
Yeah, I told you.
We're not even NFL fans.
We're done. We're done. We don't need that. We're passing
Well, yeah, but you do.
Well,
you could rub it in that you picked the Niners and I picked the Bengals.
I did. A lot of on a lot of pages I follow and stuff. A lot of people picked the Bengals, and the way I seen it is just the way. Well, actually, week 1, 49ers. I don't even know who they played, but they won, and they had like 40-something points, I believe, like 41 maybe. And I was like, and just on that alone, that's how I based my decision on that game, which is pretty sad. I didn't look at nothing else. Like I seen that matchup, and I was like, who's watching this? And I was like, I picked that one.
Who's watching this? Nobody.
Just because of week 1, they had 41 points, I think it was, and I was like, that's it. But I mean, I'm sorry if you're either one of those teams fans, but I mean, that's just another thing I don't care about right now.
Prayers to Bengals fans. I'm sorry, Bengals fans.
The thing is, like with the Bengals, what have they done? Like at all? Like anything? Like team wise, to get anybody any help at all?
That's true. Like their last good player that they've even picked up was like AJ Green in 2011. Like they have, well, it hasn't been that long. They have Geno. Like that's a good point though. Like their draft picks over the last couple of years, don't hear about them. Just don't hear about them. They're not good.
Dude, they're never in any conversations about nothing, dude. That's what I'm saying. Like,
well, it is the same organization that still has Andy Dalton as the starting quarterback, so it's kind of their own fault. If you think about it.
They need to move on from that, do something.
Absolutely. It's time to move on from Andy Dalton. So the 4 o'clock games, obviously Drew Brees went out in that Saints game. It might have been a little different if he didn't. Obviously the Rams are still a top contender in the NFC, but Drew Brees might be out for a little bit.
See, that was a slow game, and like at the beginning it was 6-3, and like I was surprised. I thought it was going to be more of a shootout, but when Brees went out, like
it was no chance.
Yeah, I was like, no. I picked the Saints. You picked the Saints?
Rams. That's one I actually had brought over you.
See, yeah, I thought about it. Like, probably should have picked Rams just because it was at home, but I was just thinking Saints and Drew Brees and Kamara.
Well, they played so well week 1 offensively.
See, that's part. I mean, I watched that game, so that's probably what I had in the back of my mind also. But once Brees went out, like it was done. Teddy Bridgewater, though,
hopefully he's healthy.
Like he was doing good. Like, I mean, they were talking about it. I think they were like he's trying to follow Drew Brees' footsteps and stuff, and kind of see what he does and does what he does. Yeah, but he was throwing for the most part accurate passes. There was one where it was right in the tank, though, but
no,
yeah, I don't think he ran as much. But I mean, it was good for a backup like that. But there at the end, they were trying to rush a bunch of stuff, and I mean,
he just didn't look effective. Well, I'll never believe in Bridgewater just because he threw like a 70% completion rating in his pro day, which is against the air. So 70% against air is not great. But yeah, Saints are done without Brees. Hopefully he's healthy though. Like you want to see the NFC fully healthy because it's very interesting, man. You got, in my opinion, 4 to 5 teams that could win it all in the NFC. You got the Eagles, you got the Saints, the Rams, the Seahawks. Who else? Packers are in that conversation. I mean, if the Falcons can turn it around, they'll be interesting. So there's a lot of good teams in NFC, clearly dominant over the AFC. But, hopefully somebody can beat the Patriots. That's all I'm going to say. Next game, Bears and Broncos had a crazy ending, apparently. So the Broncos.
Did you watch it?
I didn't watch the game. I was gone all day. So the Broncos scored a touchdown in the end. They could kick a field goal to tie it up. Then there was a penalty. So then they decided to kick the field goal. They were going to go for 2, but there was a penalty. Then they decided to take the PAT. Then there was an offsides, so they go for 2 again.
Oh my
They
gosh!
get the 2. They convert the 2, so they're up 14-13. But then Mitch, apparently it was like a bad roughing the passer call that made them be able to drive down the field and hit a 58-yard field goal to win the game. 58-yard field goal.
I'm surprised with the field goal, 2-point, field goal, 2-point, whatever. I'm surprised they switched up those decisions. It worked out, but
yeah, I am too.
I was ready for you to say, oh, and they missed, they missed
it,
didn't make it, but just because they changed their minds so much. But I mean, it worked out in their favor. Maybe they were trying to confuse the other team, but they didn't really expect to have penalties. But then they're like, you know what? Let's just go for 2 this time.
Yeah, and I'm just surprised that with all the Bears kicker problems, they could actually hit a 58-yard kick to win the game.
I'm surprised that score was well. Again, it's week 2, and the Broncos played like crap in week 1. But I was kind of surprised how low scoring that game was. So on both ends.
Yeah, it's just the Bears.
I thought it was just going to be a little bit more, like in the 20s, not much more, but. I didn't think it's going to be like in the 20s and teens ish.
Yeah, I think is that all the late games?
There was Raiders and the Chiefs.
We already went over that though. Covered that. I think that was it.
Yeah, I think.
Pretty sure. Let us know if we missed your favorite team in the comments. Of course, the Eagle. We're both taking. Let's see. What was our pick for the last game? We both put the Bears, right?
Yeah.
So if we added up, I can't add it up in my head right now.
Yeah, I gotta have papers to look at it.
Yeah, I'd have to look at it too. Thursday night games. We both got the Bucks wrong. We both picked Panthers, of course, because why would you bet for Jameis Winston? That's a bad move. But Cam Newton just looks like the legitimately one of the worst quarterbacks.
It's crazy to me though, like how he can go to the Super Bowl and then all of a sudden start playing like this. And I think, I don't know if I told you this, but I think I did. It's like Kaepernick going to the Super Bowl and then all of a sudden, I hate to say that, but geez, you're a quarterback in the NFL and he went to the freaking Super Bowl. Come on now.
Yeah.
I could say that another Jay Cutler, but he's better Jay Cutler. He's too.
Yeah.
What's up with that? Kaepernick, Cutler, and then just woo. Go. But that was a beautiful game.
Yeah, it's weird situation. He looks awful. He looked awful. I watched the whole game. He just looked awful.
I don't know what I think it's. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I want to say it's a talent thing, but we know he's got talent. But it's apparently he does not. So I'm wondering if it's a chemistry thing. But I doubt
it might be in his head too.
I like a person, but it might. Yeah, it might be in his head. I don't know.
I think it's in his head a little bit. I don't know. We both picked Panthers and Bucks pulled it out. It was the first time Jameis has won on the road since 2016. That's awful. That's
look for
awful.
Who are these people running these franchises, dude? I manage my fantasy teams better than these guys manage anything.
But seriously, think about that. That means he went 2 years, 17 and 18, without winning a road game. Yeah. You gotta move on, bro. You gotta move on. That's bad. But anyways, it's Jameis Winston, so.
I don't know why Mike Evans would sign an extension.
I would demand a trade.
I would have been I'll sign an extension as long as within
getting
2
a new QB.
Years, you gotta have a new QB. I'd put that in my contract if I was something like that. If you want me and this, you got to make some changes. I'm not staying unless there's changes, unless you're already on a Super Bowl contender team.
So we both took Browns as well. What was the only picks that we didn't agree on? 49ers and Bengals, which you got the 49ers, right?
Yeah.
Seahawks and Steelers, which I got the Seahawks, right?
Yeah.
What else? Was that it?
I think that was it. We'll post our picks in the comments.
Yes.
And see who got
And
them right. But
that'd be good. We can do that every week, like update people on like our records and stuff. That'd be kind of
yeah,
cool. I'm thinking that's the only picks we disagreed on.
I
Which
think
I really wish I would have went with my convictions with Colts and Lions because I really felt like they were going to win today.
yeah,
We could both
yeah.
get this. Oh, did he throw another? No, that's okay. Never mind.
Wow,
I thought Matt Ryan threw another pick.
this is a good
Damn.
catch. It cracks me up when players are that wide open and they have to catch those kind of catches instead of just catching it like right here in the actual pocket square and then running.
Did you pick the Giants?
Um, yeah, I think that's one. Yeah, and the
We
Bills.
both picked the Giants. Yeah. I don't know why I picked the Giants.
I mean, I did strictly on what I said earlier. Saquon Barkley. That's why. That's why I picked him. It's the only
He's a
reason I picked
beast.
him.
Yeah.
I like him a lot. I hate that he's on the team that he is, but I mean, he is that team right now. And I mean, he's going to do good in the future. I think I think they just need to build around him.
You know what's crazy is that he had like at some point, I don't know how many drives they actually had, but he already had a touchdown and a couple carries. Eli Manning was 0 for 4. So he literally Saquon by himself drove the length of the field and Eli didn't have a completion.
That's bad.
So, yeah. I mean, honestly, NFL is interesting right now because we have some like atrociously bad teams in the NFL right now. Like none as bad as the Dolphins. Like
Yeah, I
again,
was starting to say.
like what do you guys think the line on like Bama by 15, 16, 17? Nah, I
Honestly,
just kid. Probably like 20. But yeah, it's gonna be a good year. It's been a good year so far. Just it's all pray for the Patriots to lose in the playoffs. I'll say a quick prayer.
absolutely.
Can't stand the Patriots. So I think we're tied then with the picks this week because if we only had two different picks than each other and we both split, then we'd be tied.
Yeah, I think we're right.
We'll have to confirm that though. So that means that'd be very interesting though, because we'd be tied through both weeks, and we didn't have the same pieces or the same picks as last week. We had a couple different picks. Oh
Yeah.
no, actually, I just thought of another one that you got wrong. I might be up on you because the Rams Saints.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Rams
I did Saints.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rams. Yeah, you might be one up on me.
We'll have to check.
Yeah, we're either tied or you one up on me.
We'll go through. I'll make like a little sheet or something and keep our picks because obviously we bet on it. But yeah, man, it's been a good couple of weeks. We're gonna try to be more consistent on the pod. Want to start covering some more college football, but we got to do those on Saturdays. But we got busy lives and we're lazy, so.
Yeah, I'd say so. Busy, lazy, tired. Yeah, that's it.
Any closing thoughts?
We got Browns and Jets tomorrow.
Both taking Browns, obviously, because
both take.
Donald's out with
Browns.
mono.
That surprised me in the middle of the week. Like I get that notification from SportsCenter, and it's like, all right, like
Let
my
me ask
mom
you a
made me go to
question.
school during mono. Like, what is this?
That's what I'm saying. Let me ask you a question.
Hit play.
1970s, 80s, 90s. What quarterback's taking a week off with mono? Dude, motherfuckers played with broken legs back in the 70s.
Back then, they were like, hey, yeah, we got to cut your fingers off or you can't play. Cut them off. I want to get back in the game. Now it's like, oh,
Dude,
sorry.
he's out with mono. It's like, bro.
What are your symptoms, bro? Like
take a damn Tylenol, fam. Get back in the game.
Dude, you know these guys are taking painkillers and stuff.
Yeah,
just ask your neighbor.
Like, damn, dude. And it's just crazy to me because it's like, mono, really? You're out with mono?
Yeah. Like, wow. That's funny that happens to a
Look,
quarterback.
I mean, even think about Luck. He played with a lacerated kidney. You think Luck's taking out a game with mono? Jeez, man. I don't know. You kind of got to question Sam Darnold's toughness with that one. But
I'm sure for like a few weeks, he was probably like, "Y'all think I can call out sick to a game?" We were like, "What?" I wonder if he'll actually even show up. Like, if he'll even be on the
I
sidelines, or if
doubt it.
he'll just stand from or
You know what's
something.
crazy? They say he's gonna be out 2 weeks.
No, my doctor wouldn't write me out for 2 weeks for school. You kidding me? They're like, "Here's an antibiotic. You
Oh
going back
God,
tomorrow?"
dude. Was that week 1 game in Buffalo? If it was, it makes sense. He probably kissed some weird people in Buffalo. Got with some weird dude. You've seen those Buffalo fans, right? They're
Yeah.
like the most trashy fan base, probably besides Philadelphia's fan base.
Dude, I seen a photo and it said um, female fans of NFL teams, and it showed,
Giants, Redskins, Cowboys.
yeah, and then it had the Eagles, and it had a girl peeing on a car in the parking lot. Dude, I was like, why is this true, man?
That's funny as shit, dude. Oh my God, Eagles fans, confirm that in the comment section if you can.
Yeah, that's true.
Let us know. All right, and we'll see if our picks right for this. See if the Eagles can pull it out. But yeah, I don't have anything else to say. Got some good college football next week.
Yeah.
A&M versus Auburn. Great game.
Good.
And then Notre Dame versus Georgia. Another great game. So got some good college football next week. Got some interesting NFL matchups next week, like the Cowboys and Dolphins. Nah, just kidding. Chiefs and
yeah. I want to know what whoever watches this, who your favorite team is, and then what that Cowboys Dolphins score going to be. That's the two things I want to know.
Yes.
Both college and NFL. Like, what's your teams?
Yes. And would Bama beat the Dolphins? It's just so funny to me because you remember when the Browns were so bad and people were like, Bama would beat the Browns. The Dolphins might be worse. That's a completion. Yep, ball was out. Wow, what a throw,
barely.
man. What a throw.
It was accurate, too. I like it.
Should we see if they're going to score on this drive?
Yeah, let's do it.
By the way, if you guys want to know some personal life stuff, I ate some Mexican. Didn't go well.
All right, they're at the 8?
The 8-yard line.
7-yard line.
I'm kind of going for the Eagles just for my pick, obviously. I kind of cheer for my pick these days.
They're looking good right now on this drive, they are. Because Aguilar had that catch, and then now this one, they're inside 10 right now. They need. I'd like for him to get a touchdown. They don't need to settle. Dude, somebody, I was watching some game, and they were in the red zone, and they were talking about how red zone offense is like a completely different offense than the rest of the field. And it's so true. Like, it's so compact. You got so many players right there trying to get in, a certain amount of yard. Dude, that was a good decision. I like that.
I want a bad call. Yeah, you're right, though. I mean, you see a lot of picks in the red zone for that reason because it's just less field to cover.
Yeah. Or it's just hard to get in. I mean, some quarterbacks try to force it, end up being a pick or just a bunch of incompletions, and then they try to run it in. Some defenses their run stop, it's ridiculous. Like, you can't get nothing past in the red zone. I like those stats too, like red zone defense and stuff. I like that call. That's what you're talking about.
Oh God, yes! I've been harping on this all weekend. The QB sneak works like 90% of the time, and when teams don't do it on 4th and 3rd and 1, it's like, what are you doing? And they've shown this so much.
It's over. It's like 3 plays later.
Matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter. And it was clearly a question. So.
That's something I want to say again in the Saints Rams game. There's penalties a lot on the Saints during one drive, and they're just killing themselves. But there was I don't remember what it was, but it was a missed call. It was a missed call.
2 QB sneaks in a row. Doug Peterson is a literal genius.
Dude.
It's literally the right play call. The college teams that kept running the halfback dives or QB draws on 4th and 1, watch this shit. It works 90 or 80% of the times. Listen to the analytics. It literally works constantly, and teams refuse to run it. I guess it got called back though. Or maybe not.
I don't know what was the flag on.
How they declined it?
Now this is a guy who can play football and do what a QB needs to do.
Guys, just listen. I said it all weekend. I guess they had a
2 points,
2 point conversion. Yeah, but
please, I'm out.
these teams need to listen to analytics, man. The QB sneak is such an effective play, dude. Literally, Dakota texts me, bro. Doug Peterson gets you. LOL. Just ran back to back QB sneaks.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's. I mean, it's just the numbers. I mean, just go by the numbers, man. Doug
These
Peterson.
other teams, instead of like just looking at studying film for the next game, which they obviously need to do, but during preseason and bye weeks and stuff, they need to look at what other teams are doing against other teams and do stuff like just pay attention and run stuff like this. I want to see somebody go up against the Eagles and start doing this type of stuff. Every time. 4th and 1, 3 and 1, anything in one, QB sneak it, 1 yard line.
We need to start doing this. Instead of
look at that.
Yes,
I like that.
Yeah, listen.
NFL 2 point.
Another example. You guys know Frank Reich came from the Doug Peterson coaching tree. He was under Doug Peterson as the Eagles offensive coordinator. Today against the Titans, it was 4th and 1. It's good. Wow.
Slants, bro.
So it was 4th and 1 from the Colts' own 30-yard line. It was like 30 or 40-yard line. We're literally up in the game like 3 minutes ago, and we go for a QB sneak, and it worked. It's like, dude, why do not more teams do this? Like, why do more teams not do it? And it's like, I don't know, man. It's just like they're worried about the press conference afterwards. It's like, dude, you can't worry about that as a coach. If you know it's a money play, it's a money play. That's why everybody runs it in Madden constantly. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. The Eagles took the lead. Hopefully they can keep the lead.
Yeah, 2017. We'll see how it does. But, again, let us know in the comments, everything we mentioned, and we'll try to be back next week.
We'll do one next week. We'll do one Saturday.
For sure. For sure.
All right.
Later, y'all.
Peace.